You know, it's been a while since we've had a good Christmas comedy horror. This might be the next great one.
Deck the halls with boughs of holly. La 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 la.
Back again with another movie review. My name is Josh. Thanks for checking out the channel. And if you click the thumbnail in this very joyous of seasons, you are here because you heard about, or maybe haven't heard about, There's Something in the Barn. You might be just like I was. A couple of days ago, I literally had never heard of this movie. And then there I was just sitting through, carousing through the internet. And all of a sudden, this pops up that there's this new comedy horror movie out of Norway that I might like. So there I was, gave it a watch last night, Christmas Eve, and it was fantastic. This is just such a fun little family kind of horror movie, if that makes any sense. Like, I think this would be very much so in the line in the tradition of almost like Gremlins. I think Gremlins is probably a little more scary than this one is, but this one was deceivingly more violent than I originally kind of thought.
You're in Norway now, okay? Nothing bad ever happens here.
In retrospect, looking back, I'm pretty sure it's rated R because they have a little bit more foul language than maybe some of the other kind of Christmas horror movies. Not like over the top or anything. It's very purposeful when they use it, but it's just fantastic. This is a movie about a family that inherits a farmhouse in the Norwegian mountains, and they go back there to, well, live and also perhaps make a new Airbnb out of the barn, and turns out there may be something in the barn that maybe doesn't want that to happen. Hence the title, There's Something in the Barn. And this is absolutely just a joyous little film. There's really almost nothing negative I can say about this one. My expectations were kind of moderate because I watched the trailer and I was like, well, you know, the trailer looked really good. But I've also been tricked by a lot of trailers recently into thinking that some movies that were not so good were going to be a lot better than they were. Not the case. This one was absolutely the case. The trailer actually showcased a lot of the fun, but not all of it, and then some of the scares as well. But it was so much fun to watch this one with moderate expectations and then have that just be completely and utterly surpassed, in my opinion. You literally get the family that inherits the farm from their distant relatives. I think it's uncle, and their American family that had been kind of removed from Norway for a couple of generations, I guess. It's just hilarious. The actual script, the acting, like there's no big names in this one that I'm familiar with. I think the lead guy is very familiar, and I've seen him in a lot of things. He normally kind of plays, well, I mean, not even being mean, but kind of like the nerdy guy in most things. I mean, when you look at him, you'll know what I mean. But hilarious. Him and his family, I mean, they've gone through a little bit of trauma that they talk about, but initially you just kind of get thrust into this and you're like, okay, here's this typical loud American family traveling abroad, and everybody knows they're American really quickly. This movie's not afraid to poke fun of Americans, which is 100% accurate because this is a lot of the time what we'd absolutely act like traveling abroad. But then you dig more into the characters and the Norwegian characters as well, and everybody comes together and comes to life, and it's much more of a touching movie in certain parts. You know, there's a couple heartstrings that get tugged on, which you wouldn't really expect in this kind of a movie, but mostly it's just fun. The dialogue and the script, it seems and feels very natural.
What's going on here?
We are under attack.
Where's your gun?
I don't have a gun.
What?
This isn't Detroit, Bill.
The characters are, again, like I said, after the initial kind of abruptness of it, you're like, oh, okay, I see why people are the way they're acting, and then everything kind of mellows out and it gets rolling, and you're like, this makes total sense. But this was a huge surprise for me, and I'm not even gonna lie, this is absolutely getting added to probably every Christmas watch, maybe a Christmas Eve watch, just because of how much fun it was. It literally is. I would wholeheartedly recommend this one. I mean, this one's going to be tough ranking-wise. I mean, as far as Christmas movies go that I've seen in a long while, this one's way up there. But even in movies for this year, I mean, this is probably like a 9. This is probably a 9 out of 10. This is that good. It's so funny.
What do you think?
It moves right along. Not a super long movie. There's not really any dull spots. It's very entertaining. Again, more violent than I kind of anticipated, but so worth it. Very impactful. So I would highly recommend this one. I'm not going to babble too much because I don't want to give too much away, but if you haven't seen this one, go check it out. It's definitely streaming out there, so go check it out if you can. I'm absolutely going to be actually purchasing this one so I can rewatch it and then rewatch it every Christmas moving forward. I'm pretty positive. Have you seen this one? If so, let me know in the comments section. If not, I suggest you give it a watch. It's pretty freaking awesome. Hope you guys all have wonderful holidays. Don't forget, like, share, subscribe. Go hit that subscribe button if you would. That'd be fantastic. And as always, you're awesome. Peace out.
You going to do about it?
I'm going to swipe this area for fingerprints, and then I'll call the forensics and